All right, so here's how to get fit and lean without having to monitor or watch your food. So this, I'll be upfront with you, this is a little bit of a clickbait title because the reality is that you can't really. So let me explain. I've been in the whole food plant-based movement for over a decade now, and there's this big philosophy going out there that you can eat as much as you want as long as it's whole food plant-based, and you're gonna lose a bunch of weight, which is absolutely true. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people be able to do that, and even thousands online outside of a program be able to accomplish that. But the reality is, at a certain point, your body gets stuck because you're not actually monitoring what it is that you are eating. So I'm gonna use different analogies to kind of frame this a little bit differently to help you understand my point. Now, if your goal is to get lean, get a flat stomach, get rid of that last little bit of visceral body fat, trying to optimize how much lean muscle you're putting, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, because we work with people all the way up to 86 years old, there needs to be some type of awareness as to how much food you are consuming, and in terms of energy and in terms of the proportion of that food. So looking to transform your body, there's a few metrics that are really important in order to improve your body composition. That is to build lean muscle mass and drop some body fat. So if you're looking to build some lean muscle mass, there's three things that are gonna be very important. One is you wanna make sure that you're doing some type of strength training at least 3 times a week. That doesn't include doing some cardiovascular exercise, doing your steps per day, doing all those other things. Those 3 sessions of strength training per week will allow you to put that stressor on that muscle and demand of it to grow and become stronger. So you can create these little micro tears, and then they're gonna repair with proper nutrition. But ultimately, if you don't demand of your body to put on more lean muscle, then why would it? Your body will adapt to the environment that you've created for it. So if all you do is sit in a chair all day, you will have a very efficient body at sitting in a chair all day. And so that's why it's important to create this conscious environment, whether it's by going to the gym or doing exercises at your house, to demand of your body to be able to do new things. The other component that's important when it comes to building more lean muscle, again, I don't want to be that guy. Having a little bit more plant-based protein is going to be critical. A lot of the studies are going to show about a 0.8 gram per pound of body weight, which again is great if you're looking to be healthy. But if you're looking to improve your body composition, so someone that is strength training and that is more physically active than a normal person, which you would fall under that category if your goal is to improve your body composition, you're gonna be aiming for about 1.6 gram per kg of body weight. I apologize, I don't have the conversion for the pounds, but if your weight is in pounds, just divided by 2.2, that'll give you your weight in kg. Do that times 1.6. That'll be the amount of protein that you should consume per day. All the way through your deficit, all the way through your maintenance, the amount would pretty much be the same at that point. So having enough plant-based protein is going to be essential so that you have those building blocks in the form of amino acids, which is what a protein is. It's a bunch of amino acids put together to recover those tears in the muscle fiber that you've created through your strength training. The third element that is going to be critical for you to improve your body composition in a favorable manner is going to be to not be in a too steep of a calorie deficit, because if you cut 500 or 1,000 calories a day from your food intake because you're trying to lose weight as fast as possible, well, you're also going to be losing more lean muscle. So studies show that you can lose up to 50 to 80% of the weight you're going to lose could be lean muscle if you're not consuming enough plant-based protein, if you're in a steep calorie deficit, and if you're not strength training, right? So those are 3 important factors if you're looking to build some lean muscle. Now, knowing that those are the important factors, which to a certain extent have to be monitored, right? You can't be in too steep of a calorie deficit, so you need to know if you're consuming enough food, right? The issues are going to be not consuming enough, so you make sure you have enough food, and then making sure you get enough plant-based protein per day to satiate that recovery process, and then doing some form of strength training. So here's the analogy that I was going to use. Let's just say that you're looking to buy a house, right? And you have to save money to put your down deposit on your house, your 20% to buy a house. If you're just going about your life, not budgeting your finances, not budgeting your money, not looking if you are actually able to set money at the end of the month, then you're probably never going to be able to get there because you're probably just going to spend whatever is there. So you not wanting to monitor your nutrition to be able to accomplish that goal is just like saying like, yeah, I'm gonna put money aside to buy a house, but I'm just going to spend money like I want every day and never look at my finances. And at the end of the month, I'm going to look, hopefully there's a little bit left over so that I can put it aside to eventually buy a house. But the issue, most people will overeat, will overspend, And then at the end of the month, they're in the red. They ate too much, right? Or they were severely under eating, depending on what if they're whole food plant-based and they're just eating fruits and veggies and they weren't structuring their food properly. And then they're just leaving it up to, I don't want to say luck because you are taking the action, but it's just a wild guess at the end of the month if you're going to have the money to set aside for the down deposit for your house. And that's how a lot of people approach nutrition. They just eat on a day-to-day. They're like, well, I feel like eating this today. I feel like eating that, or I have this craving, so therefore I'm going to eat it, or I'm going to severely cut my food because I'm trying to monitor what I'm doing, but they're cutting too much. And at the end of the month, they have no accurate idea of where they're at. Have they been able to do a 5%, 10% calorie deficit? Have they been able to put 5 or 10% of their money aside to be able to buy the house? I hope the analogy makes sense, because you wanting to reach that new level of fitness, which to me, I would fall more under optimization. If you're someone that's currently overweight, eating, the American Western diet, and you transition to eating whole food plant-based, like, yeah, you're going to lose a ton of weight. If you stop drinking soda and eating processed food and fried food and all that, like, yeah, no shit, you're going to lose a ton of weight if you go whole food plant-based. But the thing is that that's only going to bring you to a certain level. And again, be cautious with this, but if you're not consuming enough plant-based protein and you're doing a ton of cardio or exercising as a means to additionally lose weight, you could potentially be losing a ton of lean muscle mass as you're just eating whole food plant-based as much as you want, right? So I'm gonna put that out there. That's a different problem for a different time, but you could be losing a ton of lean muscle mass if you do that. Now let's say you lose a ton of weight eating whole food plant-based, and you're doing your yoga and you're doing your hike and you're doing your steps every day, you're being active, and then you're stuck. Your weight doesn't want to budge anymore. You still have that flabby layer on your stomach. You still have those love handles. You still have those thighs, have a little flubber on the thighs. Well, that's because now it's time to optimize how you're doing things. So you just kind of willy-nilly eat as much as you want as long as it's healthy, just isn't going to cut it anymore. Which again, don't get me wrong, if you are in that position and you've lost 80 pounds, 40 pounds, 100 pounds, that is phenomenal. You can choose to stay there if you want to. I'm not saying that you have to optimize yourself. I'm not saying that you have to go for a flatter stomach, to go for a tighter, fitter body. It is just a personal preference at that point. So I'm talking to those of you that want that outcome. Okay. So I'm not saying that everyone needs to have a lean and tight body. Some people don't care. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because if you've lost 100 pounds and you're 100 pounds lighter with some flabby skin or whatever, you're still way healthier than if you were 100 pounds overweight. So don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful thing. It's just for those of you that really want to go to that next level, there needs to be some monitoring of nutrition, because like I said, your calories is going to be like money. If you don't know how much you're spending at the end of the month, you don't have anything left over. How can you know if you're on track for the goal that you've set for yourself? So there needs to be some tracking of some sort to be able to get there. And so for those of you that want that outcome, that want that next level of optimization, that want to become a fit vegan, which is basically what it is, and you don't want to monitor your food. I didn't say the word track because I'll go into the different ways to do that after. But for those of you that don't want to do that, it's like saying, I want to be a multimillionaire and I want to be very successful, but I don't want to work hard. I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. I don't want to hire a bunch of employees and having to have this massive payroll and have to fire people and hire people. Like, I don't want to do all that, but I want to be a multimillionaire, right? Like, I want to have all the success in my life, but I'm just not going to do the work. It doesn't work that way, right? As much as we wish that it would work that way, it doesn't. It requires a shit ton of effort and a shit ton of work. Anything that is worth it that most people don't have, if most people don't have it, it's because it's hard to attain, right? It's going to require for you to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you have to choose. Do I care? Do I want more of the outcome? Does that outweigh me taking some of the actions that I'm not super excited about to get there? Absolutely. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. I'm not saying that you have to, but that's what I have to do for the team that I run and the size of company that I run and the things that we have going on. Do I enjoy waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning? Absolutely not. When my alarm goes off, I'm like everyone, I just want to snooze it. All this to say, if there's an outcome that you want and you're not willing to do the work, then you're not going to get it. I'm going to be upfront with you. There's no shortcut to having an incredible body and being able to keep it. There's no shortcut to sustainability. To be sustainable, you have to do the hard work that you don't want to do, which for some of you, it's monitoring our food. For some of you, it's improving your relationship with yourself, with your body. For some of you, it's improving your relationship with food. For some of you, it's getting out of the toxic environment that you are in your relationship, in your career, in your environment, the friends that you hang out with. It is off if you're currently struggling with it. It's because there's currently things in your life that are not conducive to you being able to get the outcome that you want. And it's going to require you to be able to need to have hard conversations, make hard decisions, and put in some effort in certain things that you potentially don't really enjoy doing. But I promise you, once you start to see the outcome, you don't mind taking the action. You'll be grateful that you took them. Once you feel, these were like a fit vegan, it's just a whole other world opens up of possibility, because at that point, you've proven to yourself that you can do the thing that you said that you were going to do. And that brings a new level of confidence that you can't get anywhere else. Once you've told yourself you would transform yourself and you've mastered your mind and your body to be able to achieve the outcome that you want, damn, the doors open up and you can go like, what do I want to do next? Because I know I have it in me to get it done because I'm disciplined now. I just want to share that with you. Now, when it comes to monitoring your food, there's a few ways to do it, but all of them will require some type of monitoring. So one, you can do like most people and track your food, right? On an app like MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, with someone that I've been using lately, Macro Factor, like there's a bunch of different apps you can use to track your food. You can do that. I track my food, right? And only when I do a body recomposition phase, it takes me, I'm trying to stretch it like 3-4 minutes per day to track my food. Literally, I just punch it in. It's super easy. I almost eat the same thing every day, or a variation of the same thing. So I just punch it in. I'll be upfront with you guys. Like, I don't meal prep. I built my life to have the freedom that I want. So I don't have to meal prep because I work from home. I like eating out to the restaurant with my wife. So I know how to make that fit within my goals when I'm trying to lean out or do something. So I personally don't meal prep, right? But I do recommend it to people that are newer, that don't have that habit of learning to make healthy decisions. So it takes me 2 to 3 minutes to track per day, and I don't meal prep, and I'm still able to be successful in my transformation. And we've coached 1,000+ people in their 50s and 86 to get incredible transformation without tracking. Some of them like to track. Like, hey, just track your food if you enjoy it. Some people don't like to track. So then we get them a custom meal plan made by a holistic nutritionist. And then she tells them like, hey, for breakfast, have this, have a cup of oats, have some blueberries, have some flax seeds, have this. And then for a snack, have this, for a lunch, have this. We lay it all out for them so that they don't have to think. And if they just eat the food that's on the meal plan we give them, we've already done all the calculations as a team to ensure that you have everything that you need. So it's kind of like tracking your food indirectly done by our team, and you don't have to track it. That's what a meal plan is. And we have another structure, which is like guidelines. So some people don't like tracking. They're rebellious to following a meal plan, right? I call them diet rebels. That's me. That's why I don't have a meal plan. The other one is more guidelines. So we'll provide them a structure of like, hey, have 2 portions of protein for breakfast, 2 of complex carbs, 2 of fruit, and 1 of fat, as an example. Then we provide them a list of what a portion is for each of the things. And they get to pick what kind of fruit they want to have, what kind of complex carb they want to have, what kind of plant-based protein they want to have. And they get to make a meal however they want. Because again, we're getting rid of the structure, so they have the freedom if they're more rebellious towards following the structure. So there's different ways to coach different types of personality, and we take care of all that in a program. But what I'm trying to say is all these 3 ways have some type of monitoring of food. It's not just like, hey, it's if you have mangoes on your meal plan, have 10 mangoes. Like, I would love to have 10 mangoes, but that's going to be a shit ton of calories. And then I won't be able to hit my protein goals for the day. And I would like to be able to eat other foods. And it's going to be better for me to have more diversity in my nutrition. You need to have some type of awareness on your nutrition. Like, I get that. Again, if you just want to be lighter and you've dropped like 100 pounds or whatever, and you're happy with it, phenomenal. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. I'm only speaking to those of you that really want to go to the next level with their fitness and their health. They want to be fitter. They want to have more stamina. They want to have more strength. They want to build more lean muscle because they're aware that as you age, sarcopenia kicks in and you start to lose more lean muscle mass. Your bones start to get weaker. So they want to build stronger bones. They want to get rid of the excess visceral body fat that they have on their body. They want to be stronger so that they keep playing with their kids and their grandkids and want to continue to travel the world and enjoy the majority of your life. Because again, a lot of people, especially coming from that generation, like work their whole life and then get to enjoy a lot of it with travels and all these things. And now that they're retired, now they want to go on cruises and hikes and long bike rides across different states and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of them didn't have the health to be able to do that. So it's an absolute pleasure to be able to bring them to that place where they are able to do these things, but that falls under the form of optimization. And so, yeah, we need to have some type of structure for the nutrition. If you feel flabby and you want to get rid of it, and you always tell yourself like that last little bit is so hard, that requires monitoring. That requires optimization of how you're currently doing your exercise and how you're currently doing your training. You just, again, willy-nilly trying to go into the gym and be a gym wanderer and go from machine to machine and hope that it's going to work out. It's not, right? Like, you're not going to Again, you might get there maybe 5-10 years down the road. But again, we work with people with 15, 86. Like, you want to lose a decade starting to feel good. I'm better if you start feeling good like within a few months and not have to wait again 6 to 12 months to start feeling good and be able to enjoy your new body, your new health, your new mobility, and your new strength. Monitoring your food is a form of acceleration towards getting the results that you want. If you don't monitor and you're just eating whatever, then you're just kind of letting up to faith to a certain extent of hopefully it works out. Hopefully we lose that last 10 to 20 pounds. Hopefully we lose those 40 pounds. Hopefully I build more lean muscle and I'm not losing a bunch of muscle because I'm severely under eating on my plant-based protein and my calories every day. Who knows, right? Again, it's the same as just spending and never looking at your budget. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, I hope this makes sense. I wanted to film this video because I was at the gym this morning and I had my Fit Vegan shirt on and someone came to ask me, oh, like, how do you become a fit vegan? I was like, oh, I started to explain to like, oh, but I really don't want to track my food. I really don't want to watch my food. I just want to be able to eat whatever I want. I'm like, well, you can, but you're not necessarily going to get the outcome that you want. I'm like, well, no, but I want the goal. But I'm like, hey, you're telling me you want to be very successful without doing the work, basically. Like, there's a proven path to get there. And again, some of you might be able to get there over a long span of time. I'm not denying it. How much time do you want to lose trying to figure it out? Totally up to you, right? And also, because I know I hear this comment coming, oh, my friend eats whatever he wants and he's super lean and blah, 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 blah. Listen, there's people that are genetically blessed. I'm not one of them. If I don't pay attention to my nutrition in my training, I become a skinny fat so fast, you just snap your fingers like that and boom, I'm skinny fat right away. I lose ab definition, like I get skinnier. It's not that great. I have some friends that can eat absolute shit food and train twice a week and they have a 6-pack and they look in better shape than I am. That's just life, right? Again, some people are more genetically blessed. Don't compare yourself to those people. It's like comparing yourself to LeBron James if you go play basketball or Michael Jordan. There's one of them. We don't fall in the same category, right? Like, I would have to work, even if I worked my hardest my entire life, I would still not be able to get to that level. So there's people that just have they're genetically blessed. And if you're not one of those people, which that's me to a certain extent, depending on what sport we're looking at, when it comes to body recomp, first I get skinny fat so fast. Here's how I approach it. You've been dealt a hand of cards. Some people have a great hand. Those are the people that are genetically blessed. Some people have a shit hand. That's me. Do the best that you can with that hand of cards. Play your best, do the best that you can. And I promise you, if you keep doing that, eventually you get to the goal that you want to, right? But complaining about, oh, I'm not genetically blessed, my situation shitty, blah, 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 is not going to change the cards that you have in your hand, okay? Play to your best, monitor your food if you want to go to that next level. And again, there's nothing wrong with not going to the next level. It's a personal choice, right? Just typically the people that we work with want to, but they want to have the behavior of someone that doesn't want to go to the next level, but they want the outcome of someone that goes to the next level. That just doesn't work. Any of you listening that have had any form of success in your life, in whatever area, if a young buck came to you and it was like, hey, I want what you have in like the next 3 weeks and I don't want to do all the hard work of years and decades that you did to put into it, you would laugh and you would almost, to a certain extent, feel like it's a little bit disrespectful. Like, hey, I've worked so hard to be in this position. That's the same thing for health and fitness. Okay, you can take pills, you can inject yourself with shit, whatever it may be. There's a lot of health effects to doing those things. You don't know what the long-term side effects are of doing those things. They're expensive. And if you do want to continue doing them for the rest of your life, you better have a big ass budget to be able to do that. At the end of the day, if you want a great transformation that's going to be sustainable, you got to be ready to do the work, deal with your relationship with food, deal with your relationship with self, be ready to take it slower than what's being preached online. If you listen to our stats, it's like 0.5 pounds per 1 pound of fat loss per week, because the slower you go, the more lean muscle mass you preserve. So you don't lose like 60 to 80% of your muscle mass when you do a fat loss, like any other programs under fat loss stuff that is out there. So be ready to do it properly. I promise you, you're going to get there at one point, just a little bit slower than what all the Joe Blows are telling you online of like, hey, pay $20 for my app and lose 30 pounds in a month. Like, yeah, I can make you lose 30 pounds in a month. I'll just starve you and make you do 2 hours of cardio every day. You don't need to be smart to do that, right? It's pretty straightforward, but to be able to do it in a way where you retain and build as much lean muscle, your body tightens up and you shift your body composition fat to muscle, that's an art, right? There's a process to doing that. So I just had it on my heart to record this video. So it's a little bit unusual in terms of structure compared to what I usually do, but I hope it resonated with some of you that are actually ready to hear this message, because for those of you that aren't, you're going to be turning your wheels for a really, really, really long time. So I just rather tell you the truth. And then if you're ready to hear it, phenomenal. You're going to have great transformation. And you're actually going to start to do the work that's necessary for you to get to where you want to. For those of you that made it all the way at the end of this video, If you want our help to be able to get you to the position that you want to, there's a link down below where you can book a free body recomposition call. Again, only if you're interested in working with us and you want to speed up the process. If not, no worries at all. We're good. We're actually preloaded for a few weeks now, so you can't start right away just because our coaches are busy and we have too many people coming into the program, which again, great problem to have. That means we're doing well with our members. So if you want to secure a spot for yourself, book your free body recomposition call down below. Again, we won't twist your arm to come in, because once you come in, you got to do some hard work. All right. So you only got to do this if you want to do this. So I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below if you have any questions for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.